A common misconception is that if you buy an Italian company, an Italian limited company, you can get a visa to live in Italy. Well, this is wrong because actually you don't have to buy that, but you need to be a managing director or a member of the board of trustees. So that's the condition, regardless of the fact that you own a shareholding part or not. So first of all, if you want to go through this business visa, you need to make sure of a few things. A, this is something about your citizenship. So there must be a bilateral tax treaty or any other treaty between Italy and your citizenship country. This is because you must be allowed to either own or be a director of an Italian resident company. So if that is not possible, you cannot be appointed as a managing director, well, there is no way you can get the visa. And on top of that, there are qualifying companies. Not every company qualifies. So first of all, the company needs to be a limited one, but not an SRLS. And on top of that, the company should not be dormant, disqualified, in strike-off, or involuntary liquidation or any other judicial liquidation. So the company needs to be active, and the company must have filed at least 3 annual accounts filing. So there are no requirements for the business industry, there are no requirements for the minimum investment, there are no requirements that a company is at profit, it can also be at loss. So the first thing you need to make sure is that you can be appointed as a managing director. So the other thing you must be aware is that you need to gather further papers. It's not that you are appointed and then you're granted a visa. You need to collect further information. And by that, you can do it personally or you can appoint somebody else through a power of attorney. So you don't need to appoint a lawyer, you can appoint anyone. Accountants do that, other professionals, also your friends that stay in Italy can do that. And I can strongly advise that having a power of attorney is very important because this is a lengthy and bureaucratic process. This ends up saving you time. So what you have to do is that you need to write or be supplied a power of attorney in your own native language. This has to be translated in Italian, and then the local embassy or consulate of Italy must sworn the statement. Basically, they need to say that what is written in your own native language is the same as written in the Italian version. Then you need to put an apostille and send it everything to Italy. So your proxy can walk to the different offices gathering the documents. So the first office where you need to gather the document is the Labor County Office. Basically, you need to provide 2 statements by the representative of the company saying that A, you do not wish to undertake any employment income, so you're not coming to Italy to be an employee, because otherwise it's a different visa, and then that you will receive a gross remuneration salary, which is double of the minimum social security payment. So at the moment it's around 8,500. By the way, you do not need to receive the money up front, you just need a statement from the legal representative. And by the way, we assume that at this point you are already appointed as a managing director. So the Labor County Office needs to check few papers. First, the power of attorney. Second, they need to be provided with the company information, recent information in the last 6 months where you are appointed as a managing director or a member of the board of trustees. Then they need to have the most recent account filing with the receipt, because they want to make sure that that is the version that is available at the local chamber of commerce, the minute of the meeting in which you were appointed as a managing director, and the minute of the meeting where the company approved the annual accounts filing. So with all that papers, the local labor county labor office can issue a statement, say, yes, it is everything good to me, I have nothing to say against that. So once you get that paper and all the other papers you provided, you can go to the Italian immigration office. And at this stage, you need also to supply a proof of accommodation. So proof of accommodation is either your ownership of a residential property, or you signed a long-term lease, or you have someone who grants you hospitality. So let's say that you have a friend that leases a place and grants you hospitality, saying, Mr. or Miss John or Jane Doe, they will come to Italy, I'm glad to host them. You need to attach a stamp duty, and that's fine. So at this stage, you supply the documents to the immigration office in Italy, and they do background checks. So background checks means that your identity is secure, that you did not commit certain felonies, you're not disqualified from running a company, etc., etc., etc. So once you have the paper from the immigration office called nulla osta, stating that everything is fine, there is no wrongdoing on your account and you can actually come to Italy, then you need to be mailed all those papers to yourself, to your home country. And at this stage, you can apply at the local consulate or embassy, which is in your jurisdiction of residency. So let's say that you're resident in a certain area, you need to apply to that embassy or consulate. You cannot pick anyone. If you're temporarily overseas, what counts is your permanent residency. So at this stage, you're required to supply a few other papers. So the first one is a flight reservation. So you need to say, I'm gonna fly to Italy on that date, and you need to purchase a flight ticket. However, this can be a flexible one. So, or like providing a free cancellation. You can get the ticket to supply them, but you can get a refund later. So this is most advisable because the processing time varies depending on the different embassies in the world. So US might be different than Russia or India or China or Japan. They vary. So time varies. So you don't know when you can actually be granted your visa. Then you need also to provide your passport on which they print the visa, and you have to pay a money order. So beware that money order price varies every 3 months. So if you are on the edge of the end of the quarter, the calendar quarter, and the application goes to the next quarter, you might be required to put some few other bucks, few other euros into that account because the money order varies depending on the time the visa is likely to be issued. So once you have that, you can supply that information to the local embassy, and depending on their processing time, they reward you back with a visa and you are able finally to fly to Italy. So remember, you do not need to own a company, but you need to be a managing director of one.